Malawi Electoral Commission. Ikoza kusinta zintu voti yangu.
Greetings, fellow Malawians. Today, the Commission is pleased to announce that it has scheduled to hold fresh parliamentary elections on 29 September 2026 to fill the vacancies in Sanje South and Mangochi East constituencies, respectively. The vacancies have arisen following the nullification of the 16 September 2025 parliamentary elections by the Supreme Court of Appeal and an order that the Commission should hold fresh parliamentary elections in the affected areas. In accordance with Section 101, Subsection 5 and Subsection 6 of the Presidential, Parliamentary and Local Government Elections Act, when a fresh election is to be held, number 1, the Commission shall not register new voters. Number 2, the Commission shall not accept nomination of new candidates, but shall allow the nomination of a new candidate for a political party only if the political party candidate in the nullified election becomes disqualified or dies or is otherwise incapacitated before the fresh elections are conducted. In this regard, please take note that there will be no registration of new voters, there will be no transfers of voters, and there will be no nomination of new candidates. At this point, allow me to present highlights of the calendar of activities between now and polling day on Tuesday, 29 September 2026. Inspection of the voters' register. The Commission will open all the registration centers for 2 days, from 14th to 15th August 2026, for the inspection of the voters' register in both constituencies. Centers will open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on both days without observing the lunch break. Registered voters are encouraged to inspect their details in the voters' register at the center where they registered or transferred to ahead of the 16 September 2025 general election. An opportunity will also be made available for registered voters to verify their details free of charge by dialing *2509# on both TNM and Airtel mobile networks. The Commission wishes to encourage voters to use this facility ahead of the inspection dates. Those who may identify any discrepancies in their registration details should visit their respective centers during the inspection period so that the necessary corrections can be made. The Commission also encourages registered voters who have lost or possess damaged voter registration certificates to visit the center where they registered to apply for the replacement of their voter registration certificates. Monitoring by representatives of candidates and political parties. The Commission wishes to inform all political parties and independent candidates that contested in the parliamentary elections in the 2 constituencies that they can place up to 2 representatives at each center to monitor the inspection of the voters' register on their behalf. The deadline for submission of names of representatives through the respective MEC district election offices is 12th August 2026. For polling, political parties and independent candidates also have the right to place up to 2 representatives per polling station to monitor polling and vote counting processes. They are also free to place 2 representatives at the constituency tally center to monitor results tabulation and transmission on their behalf. The deadline for submission of the names of representatives for polling is 22nd September 2026. Observation by civil society organizations. All CSOs and individuals who wish to observe the election activities at any registration center will be required to apply for accreditation through the respective MEC district office. The deadline for applying to observe the inspection of the voters' register is 12 August 2026, whilst the deadline for polling is 22nd September 2026. For all observers who will be roving, they should submit their details, including a duly filled application form and passport photos, to the MEC Chief Elections Officer through email at ceo@mec.org.mw by 12 August 2026. Observers who are accredited for the by-elections held in 2026 need not submit their details again, as their accreditation is still valid up to 31st December 2026. Collection and submission of letters of intention to contest. As stated before, there will be no nominations for new candidates. Only candidates that appeared on the ballot paper for the 2025 parliamentary elections in the two constituencies will be allowed to contest. However, these candidates will be required to collect letters of intention to contest from their respective constituency returning officers from 30th of July 2026. Thereafter, they will be required to sign and submit them back to the same constituency returning officer any day before 4 p.m. on 7th September 2026. Candidates who fail to submit letters of intention to contest within the prescribed period shall be considered as having opted not to participate in the fresh election, and their names will neither appear on the list of duly nominated candidates nor on the ballot paper. Following the submission of notices of intention to contest, the Commission will recapture candidates' information into the candidate management system on 8th September 2026 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at their respective constituency tally centers. The Commission wishes to inform stakeholders that a political party shall only be permitted to nominate a replacement for a candidate where its candidate in the nullified election becomes disqualified or dies or is otherwise incapacitated before the fresh election is conducted. The Commission therefore urges all political parties and candidates to take note that new candidates, new political entrants, or changes of affiliation shall not be accepted for this fresh election. Official campaign period. The campaign period for the fresh elections commences on Thursday, 30th July 2026. In accordance with the law, the official campaign period shall be 60 days. Therefore, the campaign period will close on 27th September 2026 at 6 a.m. The campaign period is a separate activity from the nomination process. As such, aspiring candidates and their followers are free to start campaigning even before the presentation of letters of intention to contest. Stakeholders and aspiring candidates are further advised that engaging campaign-related activities after the campaign period constitutes a criminal offense, and any individual who campaigns outside the designated campaign period will be prosecuted. The Commission wishes to urge political parties, all aspiring candidates, and their followers to focus on undertaking an issue-based campaign. They should refrain from using inflammatory language because, in addition to breaking the law, this has the potential to infringe on other people's rights to campaign freely and could also stir political violence. Candidates and their followers should also note that the law has prohibited and criminalized use of public resources for campaign purposes. This includes receiving any contribution or donations in cash or in kind from the state, any organ of the state or agency of the state, or any state-owned enterprise. For this purpose, public resource means any property owned by the government, an organ of the government, a statutory corporation, or a body or state-owned enterprise. Further, All electoral stakeholders are reminded that the law has also banned the giving of handouts. Should anyone witness such an act, they are advised to report to the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties within 7 days of such occurrence, or by dialing freely on 4361 or sending an email to complaints@rpp.mw. Pre-checking of polling materials. The Commission has designated 28th September 2026 between 9 a.m. and 12 noon for pre-checking of polling materials in all polling stations in the election areas. The presiding officers will open and check all the election materials, including the packaging for ballot papers, result sheets, and all other election materials to ensure that they have received correct ones and in the right quantities. Representatives of independent candidates and contesting political parties, as well as observers, are encouraged to be part of this exercise. However, I should state clearly that this exercise shall proceed even in the instance where political party and independent candidates' representatives fail or delay reporting at the polling station. After the pre-checking process of the electoral materials, presiding officers will brief independent candidate and political party representatives on the polling process. Polling, vote counting, and announcement of results. Polling during these fresh elections will take place on 29 September 2026 from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. As was the case during the 16 September 2025 general election, the Commission will deploy and use biometric voter verification devices for identifying voters at the polling station, along with the physical or printed voters register. When going to vote, registered voters will be expected to take with them their voter registration certificate for easy identification. If any voter lost their voter registration certificate, or for any other reason they cannot find it, they should still go to the center where they registered, and the polling staff will assist them to vote once they have been positively identified in the voters' register. Vote counting will be done at the same polling station where voting took place and will immediately start at 4 p.m. or immediately after the last voter to be on the queue before closing time casts their ballot. Independent candidates and party representatives will be expected to sign and get a copy of the results. Another copy of the results will be displayed at the polling station where voting took place. The presiding officer will then take the results to the constituency tally center, where they will be aggregated and transferred physically and electronically to the national tally center. The Commission is expected to announce the results by 2nd October 2026 from the National Tally Center in Lilongwe. Accreditation of civil society organizations for voter education. The Commission wishes to inform all CSOs that were accredited to conduct voter education in readiness for the 16th September 2025 general election that their accreditation is still valid for these fresh elections. Accordingly, there is no need to apply for accreditation to conduct voter education for these fresh elections. Special message from the Commission to all registered voters. The Commission urges all registered voters and stakeholders to refrain from acts of violence, intimidation, and any interference with electoral activities, including inspection, polling, counting of results, and transmission of results. The Commission emphasizes that every election is important and must be treated with the utmost seriousness. All eligible citizens are therefore encouraged to inspect their names in the voters' register and to participate in the voting process. Finally, the Commission assures all stakeholders of its unwavering commitment to administering the fresh election in full compliance with the law governing elections to ensure that the process is free, fair, and credible. Thank you for your attention. God bless you. God bless Malawi.
Voti yanga